Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A lot of you probably know the famous hadith in Sahih Muslim where Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Man ra'a minkum munkaran falyughayyirhu biyadihi, فإن لم يستطع فبلسانه فإن لم يستطع فبقلبه وذلك أضعف الإيمان." And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that if one of you sees a munkar, a reprehensible act, then let him change it with his hand. And if he can't, then with his tongue. And if he can't, then with his heart. And that is the weakest of Iman. I witnessed something in the masjid many moons ago when I was a young man. There were these two old men, they had some kind of dispute, and one of them struck the other immediately. So then they both went to the Imam to see who's right and who's wrong. And they explained what happened, and then the man who hit, he explained to the Imam, the hadith says, first with the hand. So he understood the hadith to say that you first strike the person with your hand, and then if you can't strike him, talk to him with your tongue. And so that's why it's essential to understand some rulings concerning this hadith. And let's take that first one. That the order or the instruments of change depends on what needs to be changed and depends on who you're talking to. So for example, can a father use his hand with his son? Absolutely, if he wants to. Backhand that boy. Absolutely. So, but can you do that to a stranger in the street? Absolutely not. Here you would use the tongue. So the hadith isn't saying this is the only strict order you have to follow. That the order depends on what you're trying to change, your relationship with the individual and who the individual is. So that was point number one. Point number two, you don't change the munkar if it involves destruction of someone's property or someone's wealth. So that means I can't go into my uncle's house and destroy his stereo and his plasma TV screen because, oh, this is a munkarat are being played here. So, because that's destruction of property, it doesn't belong to you. Then the other thing, the third point, is that you cannot change the munkar if it entails you exposing yourself to the haram. So you're going to the nightclub to tell people, ittaqullah. If that doesn't work. Or you're going to a bar to tell people, don't drink, fear Allah. So you don't do those things, you have to follow these guidelines. This has been a da'wah tip. And if you like that shahada tip, then there are plenty more coming in the next course, Shahada, the fiqh of da'wah. I'll see you there, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.